The announcement came Thursday. Not with a bang, with a statement. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, the financial engine that built LIV Golf, said it would end its backing after the 2026 season. More than $5 billion spent. The blank. Check closed. And now, the golf world is exploding. LIV Golf is scrambling. A new independent board has been created. 2 investment bankers have been brought in to find long-term financial partners. The league claims 100% revenue growth and profitable teams. But critics are calling it a desperate search for chumps willing to assume a $100 million a month burn rate. The New Orleans event is postponed. Players are eyeing the exits. And the future of the Rebel League that promised to revolutionize golf is very much in question. This is Golfio. For more coverage in golf, subscribe and hit the notification bell. The news had been rumored for weeks. The Wall Street Journal first reported that Saudi Arabia's public investment fund was planning to pull its financial backing of LIV Golf after the 2026 season. The golf world braced for impact, and on Thursday, April 30, 2026, the confirmation arrived. In an official statement from Riyadh, the PIF made it clear: the blank check has been closed. The substantial investment required by LIV Golf over a longer term is no longer consistent with the current phase of PIF's investment strategy, the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund said in its statement. The carefully worded announcement added that the decision has been made in light of PIF's investment priorities and current macro dynamics. The numbers behind the decision are staggering. Conservative tallies suggest the PIF has invested over $5 billion in LIV Golf since its launch in 2022. By the end of the 2026 season, that figure is expected to exceed $6 billion. The cash burn rate has been estimated at roughly $100 million per month. And despite claims of growing revenue, the league has never turned a profit. The geopolitical backdrop adds another layer of complexity. The Iran war has disrupted oil markets and forced the Saudi government to prioritize domestic investments over international prestige projects. Saudi energy infrastructure has been targeted by Iranian attacks. The closure of the Strait of Hormuz has had a dramatic effect on oil movement and price. The PIF's new 5-year strategic vision, released earlier this year, notably did not mention LIV Golf at all. The message was clear: the kingdom's priorities have shifted. Golf analyst Eamon Lynch, writing for Golf Week, was characteristically blunt. Conservative tallies suggest over $5 billion has been torched on this enterprise, Lynch wrote. This isn't a situation where any new investor begins with a clear balance sheet because startup costs were assumed by someone else. The profligate overheads are baked into the business model. LIV Golf did not wait long to respond. Within hours of the PIF's announcement, the league unveiled a strategic evolution. The centerpiece of that evolution is a newly created, independent board, led by 2 seasoned investment bankers. Gene Davis, of Pyrenate Consulting Group, will serve as chairman. John Zinman, of the strategic advisory firm JZ Advisors, will join him on the board. Their mission is straightforward but daunting. LIV Golf needs to find long-term financial partners to replace the Saudi money that has sustained it for 4 years. The league has announced that it will transition from a foundational launch phase to a diversified multi-partner investment model. In plain English, LIV is looking for anyone, to write the next check. LIV Golf CEO Scott O'Neill has been here before. When he succeeded Greg Norman in 2025, he inherited a league that had spent billions but had little to show for it. Under his leadership, the league has claimed record-breaking engagement and a 100% year-over-year revenue increase during the 2026 season. 5 title sponsors of events this year, after having none in the previous 3 years. 10 of LIV's 13 teams are expected to be profitable this year. Our conviction in the team golf model has never been stronger, the league said in its statement. We have built a differentiated platform that is global by design, commercially vibrant, and structured to unlock untapped value across the sport. But critics remain deeply skeptical. Eamon Lynch described the search for new investors as a hunt for chumps willing to assume a $100 million a month burn rate. The Irish Times noted that while O'Neill has attracted marquee sponsors and overseen significant revenue growth, all the mood music within golf is that the PGA Tour has essentially won its battle with a disruptive competitor. The practical consequences of the funding crisis have been immediate. On Tuesday, April 28th, just days before the PIF's official announcement, LIV Golf confirmed that its scheduled tournament in New Orleans would be postponed. The event was supposed to be played June 25-28 at Bayou Oaks at City Park. Now, it has no date. Louisiana Economic Development Secretary Susan Bourgeois had been pressing LIV Golf officials for a decision in the preceding weeks. The state had paid $3.2 million for the rights to host the event. Sources familiar with LIV Golf's operation confirmed that the league had been working with Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry's office to consider new potential dates in the fall. But the postponement, coming just days before the PIF's formal announcement, sent a clear signal. LIV Golf is scaling back. The remaining 2026 schedule is still intact for now. LIV Golf officials confirmed to ESPN that next week's tournament at Trump National Golf Club outside Washington, D.C., will be played as scheduled. The league has 6 more events on the calendar after that. Korea, May 28-31, Spain, June 4-7, England, July 23-26, Bedminster, New Jersey, August 6-9, Indianapolis, August 20-23, and the season-ending championship in Michigan, August 28-30. But the postponement of the New Orleans event raises questions about whether the later events will all materialize. The league needs to find new investors. It needs to convince players that the future is secure. And it needs to do all of this while the golf world watches, waiting for the next shoe to drop. Golf analyst Rex Hoggard, speaking on the Golf Channel's FA3P Golf Today program, noted the significance of the New Orleans postponement. This is a league that promised 14 events this season, a full global schedule, Hoggard said. When you start cutting events, players notice, sponsors notice, and potential investors definitely notice. The human face of the funding crisis is the players. Dozens of golfers left the PGA Tour for LIV's guaranteed money. Now, they face an uncertain future. For the biggest stars, the options are limited, but they exist. Brooks Koepka was the first to leave LIV and return to the PGA Tour. Earlier, this year, the 5-time major winner was granted a path back through the PGA Tour's returning member program. The conditions were steep: a $5 million charitable donation, no access to equity grants for 5 years, and no bonus money in 2026. But Koepka accepted. Patrick Reed also left LIV and is playing a European Tour schedule this year before potentially qualifying for a PGA Tour card in 2027. The PGA Tour offered the same path to 3 other LIV stars who had won majors since 2022: Jon Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, and Cameron Smith. The league gave them a February 4, 2026 deadline to accept. All 3 said no. At the time, they were committed to LIV. The Saudi money was flowing. The future seemed secure. Now, everything has changed. For Rahm and DeChambeau, the path back is no longer clear. The returning member program was a one-time offer. Once the door closes, there is no promise that this path will be available. Again, PGA Tour CEO Brian Rolapp had said. But the PGA Tour has shown flexibility before, and as Eamon Lynch noted, the Tour will face the thorny issue of handling LIV refugees who want to return. For the lesser-known players, the ones who did not get 9-figure signing bonuses, Sahadri Seat, the situation is even more precarious. They left the PGA Tour for the promise of guaranteed money and a lighter schedule. Now, that money may disappear, and the PGA Tour may not welcome them back with open arms. Most will be forced to earn status elsewhere, Lynch wrote. The Irish Times offered a sobering assessment. LIV had financial muscle, but no tradition or footprint in the sport. Without PF's vast sums of money, the appeal for players will diminish fast. No LIV in 2027 is likely. So, what happens next? The future of LIV golf hangs in the balance. Let me break down 3 possibilities. Possibility 1. New investors are found, and LIV survives in diminished form. This is the best-case scenario for the league. Gene Davis and John Zinman, the new board leaders, have experience navigating complex financial situations. LIV Golf can point to genuine growth. 100% revenue increase, 5 title sponsors, 10 profitable teams. A leaner, more sustainable LIV could emerge. Fewer events, smaller purses, but still a presence on the global golf calendar. The Irish Times called this a tour functioning somewhere in the wilderness or in partnership with others. This is Golfio. If you made it to the end of this video, you care about the real stories behind the game. Subscribe to this channel for more deep dives into the moments that matter. And leave a comment below. Will LIV find new investors, or is this the end? I will see you in the next video. For more coverage in golf, subscribe and hit the notification bell.